Alright everyone, welcome back. It's Big Al here, and today we're stepping into the arena for the Bloodgrounds demo. This is a tactical turn-based Gladiator RPG with a few roguelike elements, which basically means every fight counts, every decision matters, and your favorite fighter could be gone forever. Let's see if we can survive or die trying. So here's the setup. You've already fought your way out of the pits as a gladiator. You're known, and now you're the one calling the shots. You're not swinging the sword anymore, you're managing a team, sending them into brutal arena battles and building them up for glory, or sending them to their doom. It's part strategy, part of RPG, and part pure carnage. Right off the bat, the presentation is slick. I love how the UI makes you feel like a wealthy but ruthless patron. There's a lot of personality in the art style. You can see your roster of gladiators. Each has stats, gears, traits, and then, it makes them all unique with different classes. You have like a tank, a vanguard, an attacker, a rogue, a mage, an archer. All these different things really come together. And so this is where all the management layers kick in. So you can hire recruits, equip them with better weapons and armor, and upgrade your fighters to specialize them in certain roles. Again, like I mentioned, tank, damage dealer, support, healer. It's very like Darkest Dungeons almost, in that sense where everything has like a fitting role. But imagine if Darkest Dungeons was on like a more of like a plane, like a hex grid plane, kind of like that, like all the square grids and whatnot. Let's get into the battles. I talked enough about, the little UI, first impressions and whatnot. So each gladiator has a set amount of movement and action points per turn. So positioning is really everything. So you could take a number of steps, and if you're surrounded by an enemy, they'll get basically like an attack opportunity in like Dungeons and Dragons, something along those lines. But sometimes you need distance, so your archer can't hit something that's right in front of them. They're gonna need some distance. So now this is where you would position the archer behind a tank, and this usually plays out really well, and especially when it comes to like, oh, your guys are going to be hitting their guys, and you could just start firing off either like arrow storm in the air, pinning them down, things like that really play into a massive way of just freedom. So if you rush forward without thinking, you'll definitely get surrounded and torn apart. Instead, I personally used the terrain and I kind of just lured them in. At one point by the end, I was just slamming them with earthquakes constantly. I was just, bring them in, slam them with earthquakes, use the barrels around, and that honestly plays a massive role. Just the terrain is everything. But you're not just fighting in the terrain. The patrons themselves will help you out. So sometimes when you get like a brutal kill, nice bloody kill, you do something cool, they'll start throwing stuff into the arena. Now maybe what they throw in there is some extra armor. Maybe you're gonna do a little extra damage, or even something that gives you experience or more movement. Who really knows what they're gonna throw in there, but at the same time, it plays in really well. So between fights, you get to collect loot, heal up, and make strategic choices. Do you spend your gold on better weapons or save it up for upgrading your different arena facilities? And again, just like Darkest Dungeons, there's a lot of upgrades outside of the arena. You have the base, you have your whole thing where you get recruits, you could upgrade those places. And in the demo, they really want you to upgrade everything to like level 1 at least, or like level 2. And you just get different units and abilities and like their upgrades, like when they get a level up. How are you gonna spend it? What are you gonna put the points into? So it all plays together. And this is where I think Bloodgrounds really stands out. The fights are really intense, but again, the management layer really does keep you invested. I feel like I spent an equal amount of time in the arena and also just investing, checking out the different stats, the different items I can use. And also there's a ton of like passive items, like equipables that really change the battlefield between like setting up bear traps, bleed damage, doing poison. It really makes you start getting attached to like specific gladiators and just wanting to keep them alive. How like, I'm gonna use all these environmental factors to whoop ass, pretty much. As you go on through the fights, I wanna bring attention to the different difficulties and the different challenges that are brought up in the game. So when you're in the arena, you get multiple different options, and when you start off, it's pretty much like a novice fight. Then it's more like beginner, and then it's more like intermediate, and then things like that, right? Easy, basically like easy to hard, and then extreme. So there is a boss dynamic added into this, and there's like a healing dynamic too in the middle of these rounds. So you go like 3 waves of fighting, and then you get like a heal. So you could either get like a full party, minor party heal, or like a individually heal one person to full. Things like that. And in between each of these fights, you'll be able to equip a passive, weapon or a passive item that you've found in the arena, and you could use that to your advantage. So it really plays a lot into just this, like, wow, how are we going to do this? How are we going to make it work? And is it worth it bringing in like extra potions, or should we bring in like extra traps? Who knows? I know none of my guys died. I really was playing it safe throughout the whole thing, and I absolutely loved it. It really had me. I was screaming. I was screaming Warhammer quotes. I was going buck wild. And this game really made you feel like you're going buck wild. The graphics are also really unique, and it's almost like everything's moving in such a tight-knit way. It's like not clunky, but it feels tight, gritty, and just a little gory. And it really, really plays in extremely well into this demo. So I absolutely recommend this game. I want everyone to check it out if you can. And you know what? I'm impressed. I'm impressed. You know, it's got that satisfying tactical depth that I love in turn-based games. And if you are new here, that is something I really, really dig into. Anything with depth to it. You know, like, of course, base layer games are fun, but like this does have an extra layer of depth. Combined with like the tension of a roguelike, it really plays into just like, I don't want to lose anyone. Just like in Darkest Dungeons, there's so much. And you know, making a lot of comparisons to it, but it really does feel like that. So if you want to check it out for yourself, the demo is on Steam right now. Give it a go. I'll leave a link in the description below. And if you enjoyed this video, please do not forget to like, subscribe, and do whatever you do that helps me out, because it means a lot to me, and it helps out the channel and helps out the algorithm, because you know, the more comments, the more likes, more people get their eyes on it, and I really want more people to get their eyes on this game. So, what's your favorite Gladiator? Tell me. Gladiator 1, let's go. But I'll see you guys on the Battlegrounds.